I, 26M, will be breaking up with my girlfriend, 25F, of 1.5 years today, and I would like some advice on how to focus on myself instead of the pain that is being caused in the short term. After over 1.5 years of being dissatisfied, I've decided to call time on my relationship with my partner as of today. We began dating soon after the outbreak began, and she moved in with me before we were even officially boyfriend and girlfriend. The distinction isn't significant to me, but whatever. In the first 2 months, we were definitely in the honeymoon phase, but then we had back-to-back weeks in which she got physical with me and put her hands around my neck. She's weak, so I was able to get her off me easily. She got too drunk. She started speaking inappropriately about our relationship to everyone, and she even went after one of my friends with a vengeance. Since then, the relationship has been nasty and draining on all parties involved. We've broken up twice for much the same reason. Even though I'm exhausted from all of the effort I've put into a relationship where it seems that I'm the only one putting out effort, she continues to give me TikToks and other social media on how to love your spouse effectively, despite the fact that my needs have never been met. When it comes to asking for what I want, I've been hesitant for a long time, but I've become better at it. Yet strangely, my requests are either met with irritation or a polite, but ineffectual good enough. Our second breakup resulted in her being diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, which I had been studying before to the breakup and felt validated about. But after a month, I sank back into the poisoned comfort of being with her, and here we are now. Even while she continues to demand more and greater contributions from me, there is only so much time in a day. My needs are not being met, and there has been no indication in the preceding 1.5 years that things would improve. In fact, things are deteriorating even more rapidly. The longer I stay in this relationship, the more damage it will cause to my own personal development and growth. Update. It's been about a month since my ex and I decided to call it quits on our relationship. As part of the divorce process, I sought space and asked her not to contact me, but she continued to push the limits by texting and calling me almost every day for the next 2 weeks. I blocked her after about 2 weeks because she wouldn't stop sending me disrespectful texts and wouldn't stop being persistent. In order to avoid being tempted to check Snapchat to see whether she had posted anything in our group discussion, I uninstalled Snapchat from my phone. I started rereading Daphne Rose Kingma's book Coming Apart. This was the 3rd time I'd read it. So it wasn't the first time, since I was going through a breakup. When you're going through a breakup, this book may be really helpful. Being in the same friend group as her has been really challenging, but I've managed to keep myself to myself until this past weekend. She showed up to gatherings when she wasn't supposed to and made it all about her and her accomplishments. Shocking. I was able to separate myself from the situation, and several of my friends and family members went above and beyond to make me feel safe and loved. In any event, the exercises in the book that include going over the whole story of the relationship are quite useful. They have earned my highest recommendation. A run-in with my ex last night lit a fire in me that I was completely unaware of, and I assume this is the wrath component of the cycle at this point in my life. Her pranks are unmistakable. Due to the fact that she's a really nasty person, I'm torn between feelings of guilt at having allowed this to continue for so long, as well as feelings of rage at her for being such a jerk who has no concept of introspection or empathy for others. She views herself as a victim all of the time. It seems like the more away I go from her, the more clear her dishonest ways become, and the angrier I feel. She has a game plan, which I'll discuss with you in the section below. She is a borderline personality disorder (BPD) narcissist, and what you read see online is very much the fundamental pattern. Not really. It makes me furious and sad. Despite the fact that she's on the outs with a lot of my friends, she's making an effort to maintain her relationship with the ones she loves. Being excessively nice and doing acts of service to give the impression that she is concerned, selecting pals who are too kind for their own benefit, and exploiting them as pigs for her ideas, her reversion to her former self, talking behind their backs, and generally being a jerk to everyone will take at least a month according to my over-under bet. Fortunately, a large number of people in the organization are aware of her and do not trust her. So it is possible that I will not have to deal with her indefinitely. A part of me wishes her the best of luck in her endeavors, that she would finally get the help she needs from a qualified specialist. In order to avoid taking her medicines for a week and then completely forgetting about them, she commits to really taking them. This means that she concentrates on being compassionate and viewing people as exceptional in their own right, rather than considering them as receptacles for her affection. Nonetheless, When I reread what I've written in the past, I realize that this is only a projection of my own internal desire to constantly be better for myself and others, despite the fact that there is no empirical proof that she would ever do so for herself. As much as it pains me, I'm hoping to be able to detach my feelings from hers as I work to overcome my codependent addiction with her. On the plus side, I have a date scheduled for Thursday with someone I've known for a long time but am just now getting to know well. She's a solid believer in what she's saying. I'm not sure where this will go, but I'm determined to move on, and my ex isn't going to stand in my way. For the first time in a long time, I'm hanging to my self-worth and acknowledging that I am not a bad person who deserves to be criticized. What I deserve is something amazing and compassionate. Please give it to me. Nobody should be subjected to public humiliation. Hopefully, this will help anybody else who is dealing with a narcissist understand the difficulties I'm going through and realize that their path does not come to a stop simply because someone else is hurting them. Whether you realize it or not, you are a very strong person. You've got it under control. When you need aid from an anonymous source on the internet, anybody with compassion will be there to assist you. Story 2. My girlfriend cheated on me. How do I handle it? My 5-year-old girlfriend, with whom I had already made plans for a future, had recently cheated on me with a colleague, and I was devastated. To go to any extent to do it. This is the usual obvious garbage. Please accept my apologies for my poor French. This happened yesterday, and I'm still feeling the effects of it. I'd want her to tell her family, my family, and close friends about what she did, so that she can confront her mistakes and accept responsibility for what she's done. Is this an unreasonable request? I can't fathom my life without her in it at this point. We are both 28 years old. She has traveled halfway across the world to be with me, and I get the impression that she is willing to fight for what she believes in. Is the fact that I wish to keep going an indication of my own weakness? All of my friends will surely judge me, but I don't think I'll be bothered by it. I just want her to be forthright and honest, and I want to provide her with the chance to reestablish my and my family's trust in her. Now look at some comments. My dude. She cheated on you while you were still in there. That's next level. The wine was being sipped, and when I went to the restroom, I checked the pet video in the living room in case I might surprise them by conversing with them via the camera. When I turned it on, there she was, aggressively kissing him on the lips while sitting on his lap. It tore at the inside of my heart. I shoved the guy out of the way and warned him that if he ever saw me again, he should go away immediately. This is where we get some guidance. I have a soft spot for this young woman. She has always been there for me in every way she possibly could. My life's work is my passion. Every day when I return home, the very thought of her makes me glow with happiness. She has shown love and cared my whole extended family, and I have shown love and attention in return. We have 2 dogs, and we have our whole life laid out in front of us. I was ready to give up, but the thought of my existence without her makes me feel sick to my stomach. She is determined to find a solution and is willing. Disrespectful. I wouldn't work things out. I wouldn't even try. But if that's the route you want to take, then you need to figure out what motivated her to cheat and how she's going to prevent that from happening again. Dude, I'm so sorry. But let me tell you that she was capable of doing this with a friend of yours and while you were in the same house. I don't even want to imagine what she is capable of when you are not around. I'd personally kick her out if it's possible. The more you think about it, much worse. This is not something you can think about IMO. You can't tolerate this? This isn't the first time with this guy. You didn't just get up to use the restroom and a make-out session started. They've been doing this for a while. They're likely still doing it. Have some self-respect and put her out. Tell everyone why you put her out.